10 steps to becoming a millionaire in 5 years, right? I'm going to put them in a little different order now that we're a few years past the book and when it was published. Number 1, get a pen and paper. You got to change your pattern. Number 2, I go into page 17 of the Millionaire Maker book, chapter 2, and you do a gap analysis. Number 3, let's talk about that baseline. Number 4, your freedom day. Number 5, which is absolutely essential, is forecasting. Now let's get to your cash flow, and which is number 6 and 7, your cash machine. So let's do a recap. Number 1, change your pattern, lifestyle cycle to wealth cycle. Number 2, gap analysis, page 17. And you can go up to the sequencing blocks, which is putting it all in the right order, which is page 37. In that, you're also going to then really identify your baseline, your freedom day. What are you going for? How much a month? By the way, once you hit your freedom day, it's going to get bigger. I don't know how many of my students and clients say, I started with $5,000 a month as a goal, and then I went to 10, and now I'm at 20, and now I'm at 30. And it's not about having enough and much. A lot of them, they'll give huge charity donations, right? If you don't have any money, do not say you're philanthropic. You don't have any money to give away. This is cute, interesting. And by the way, you never start becoming a millionaire with a nonprofit. That comes later. Right? That's a later move, not a now move, right? So you got number 1, number 2, 3's baseline, 4 freedom day, 5 forecasting, cash flow and cash machine, and 8 big, like the most critical. I'd put it at the top. And you say, why is it number 8? Because we have to sort you all out. We've got to organize your gap analysis. We need to know where you are, teach you how to spend. Now we're going to talk about getting incorporated. You have to live corporate life. It is not negotiable. Companies make money, individuals get taxed. So you can continue to be overtaxed and overtaxed and overtaxed. And I want to speak to a few people straight out there. I'm going to name her name, and I hope she watches this video. Her name's Lisa. I'm going to talk to the Cole family. I'm going to talk to Fred. I'm going to talk to, who else am I? Matthew. I'm going to talk to Daniel. So you guys are sitting on the shelf going, should I work with Loral and her team? Let us do a 3-year tax return review. If you coaches, because I've been talking to a lot of coaches and athletic directors, if you're out there going, should I work with her team? Are you kidding? Let us do a 3-year tax return review. Let's begin there, right? Northern California, coach and teacher, $72,000 back in 3-year taxes, which means essentially overpaid nearly over $20,000 a year because the person doing their taxes didn't understand 81,000 pages of tax code. So we want you to put your money in the right foundation, the right bank accounts, because they're corporately structured differently. You get a different tax deduction strategy around it. It's fabulous. And you're never going to go on a vacation again. You're going to go on business trips. And I'm in a wine business. I'm in real estate. I'm in so many different businesses. I can go anywhere in the world. All of you, you got to have a corporate life. And this is a worldwide thing. So I know I'm speaking in US vernacular. So there's a question is, do I accept overseas clients? Yes. We have been in 6 of the 7 continents. The only clients I've never accepted, because I don't know, there's just not people from Antarctica that's come forward. But I've been in Africa a lot, Middle East. I've been in the UK, long time in Australia, long time connections. I'm married to a Canadian. We have a lot that are coming from the islands lately, the Caribbean, the DR, Puerto Rico. All of this being said, if you are still questioning should I work with Loral and her team? Let us do a 3-year tax return review. Let's start there. Let's see what we can do. It is not going to be hinged on whether will you get the rest of the solution. It's an interesting start for those of you that know you. Here's the golden ticket. You're an employee. You've been overtaxed, guaranteed. You've had an LLC or a C Corp or an S Corp, or in Canada, a number company or partnership or limited proprietary if you're in Australia. So I'll speak in more international terms since there's more of you overseas folks. So if you're out there and you have an entity, I can almost guarantee you that unless you have a great leading tax strategist, you probably overpaid taxes. And if you really get up there in income, then you actually diversify your incomes into different countries. So there's an opinion in that. I'll leave that to the CPAs to tell you about it. I'll tell you this, though, just in Ireland alone, it's a 12% flat corporate tax rate, which is why the Amazons, the eBays, if you've ever flown into Dublin or any of the Ireland big cities, you wonder why the big tech firms are there. They domicile there. Why? They put it in Ireland, so they only have to pay a 12% flat corporate tax. Those of you that are U.S. citizens that are willing to live in Puerto Rico for 6 months, you have a whole different tax strategy. So again, this isn't like one thing. It's up to you. What do you want? And I have assembled teams of people. And you got to say, well, where did you come up with this idea of assembling teams? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. 1996, I met the Rich Dad, Poor Dad team. I thought the team was fabulous. I got it. I got the integration of how this team needs to work together on your behalf. And I said, well, I'm going to be the educator and tell you about all the things that nobody's telling you about. I get picked on a lot for being this transparent, but I hope you're liking it. Are you liking and sharing this out there? Give me some feedback. You loving it? And I will do more as long as you guys. Actually, the other thing I want some feedback on is what other topics do you want me to come live on YouTube and talk about? Because we'll be doing these on a regular basis for you. So we went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entities. We were number 8 at the corporate structure. And here's how serious I am about corporate structure and Make Your Kids Millionaires. And if you haven't gotten this book yet, go to makeyourkidsmillionaires.com, grab the book. When your kid's 18 years old, they're a legal adult. They need to have an entity. That's how serious I am. So my son got an entity. My daughter's turning 16 soon. She will have an entity. I already formed it for her birthday, which is really, really awesome. And we are going to have so much fun. And like Kamal knows, he's jumped all the way to what's called head of the table, which is working with me, because he knows that I know all these little ninja tricks in being an author. And he's worked with Bob Proctor. I've worked with Bob Proctor. I know how to supercharge him past 6 figures to 7 figures because I've already done it. I've done it for a lot of people. And there's a lot of glue. I always say, what people say, what do you do that's different? I said, I'm like glue and grit. I'm all the little things. Like I was at Georgia Southern teaching some of the men, and I said, do you have your own credit cards? I mean, that's a huge issue of having bad credit or having your own credit cards. And they said, yeah, I got mom and dad's. No, that helps mom and dad's credit. That doesn't help your credit. If you're 18, you need your own company, get your own business. It could just be a little side hustle, do personal training. That's what I did. It was my first companies with personal training. But here's another little tiny mistake that no one's going to tell you about, and you're not going to find on the bathroom wall called the internet. Parents were paying the kids' credit card. So it was in the kids' name. They had a credit card, but the parents were paying. Still doesn't work. The financial system watches the whole model. So the parent should be paying the kid. So you pay the kid pays his own credit card bill, increases their own credit. So there's little tiny things that are so relevant as you get into this. So yes, we're talking about the big 10 steps. In between, there's a lot of little stuff that you aren't just going to go find out on the internet that's going to give you the detail, like even applying for a credit card. If you do an application wrong, you could drop 60 to 80 points just like that. If you spread out getting cards too long versus like our opinion is get 5 to 6 cards like right away, all in the same time period so they don't pull hard credit, on you right away. So anyway, just wanted to share, I know lots of those things. Number 9 is huge, asset allocation. As you make your money, where are you gonna invest it? So what's interesting is out in the world, there's always been stock trading and all of those things. There's been real estate trading. There's been some Forex and now some crypto. Those are pretty known assets. But what about the other ones? Where do you learn about gas and oil, right? In 1999, I was a double millionaire, real estate and gas and oil. How did I learn about it? I just kind of happenstance into gas and oil, quite frankly, because I worked for Chevron. So a bunch of us all left together around the same time, 1996. There was a merger with Texaco back in the day. So a lot of us left. I was friends with a lot of the engineers. We worked out together, we mountain biked together, and they're like, let's go buy our own gas and oil well. I'm like, all right, well, that's odd. And so we each put 100,000 in, lost it. That was fabulous. Oh, let's go again. That time we each put between 50 and 100 in. Lost it. All right, well, third time's got to be a charm. How about we put money across several wells? So we're not buying one, and we call it the one night stand loss because you would lose all of it if the well didn't hit. So why don't we put it across several wells, buy a package of wells instead of one, so in case one doesn't hit, the other two can make up for it. Still since 1996, I am paid. Now that well's drying up, but that's a long time ago. It's 2022, and I'm still being paid on that well from 1996. It's a small amount, but in the beginning, it was $9,000 and went as high as $16,000 a month on a $100,000 investment. Now it's down to a couple $100, and the well will dry up, and it was a good run. But how do you learn about that? Right? Somebody who has experience, I would hope. I'm actually working through another new client, James, who's out there, with a mineral rights person. In fact, I just bought some water rights. How do you know about it? You got to hang out with us. You got to spend time with us. You have no idea how a lot of this works. I'm in the marijuana space. Why? More curious than anything, and honestly, I think the opiate addiction is an insane run. The pharmacists get all the money. I think medical marijuana is where we need to head for very specific treatments. There's lots of that. So how do I know about it? I surround myself with experts, just like I'm asking you to do. So asset allocation does not need to be stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Now, we're in a recession. Welcome to the news. We have been in a recession. We've had 2 quarters of downturns, really, really critical, that you now get in a position to do these steps, and opportunities are going to be everywhere. I always say we're on the heels of the pandemic and not the rumblings. We're in a recession. The media won't officially announce it. Some do, some are not. We are, technically. So what does that mean to you, right? There's going to be huge opportunities. So where do you find them? You have to hang out with people that do deals. It's sort of like in very simple terms, the red car syndrome. You say, hey, how many red cars did you see today? Well, yeah, I haven't seen any because it's not in your thinking. So asset allocation's not in your thinking because you're not making enough money to invest. And back to number one, you're in the wrong pattern of make spend, and you're buying a lifestyle instead of assets. I want you to start looking for assets. I want you to start being around people who do deals. People who do deals find deals all the time. Right? There's just a flow of deals that always happen. And they're always around us. Kevin Harrington, some of the sharks, they say, oh, it's only for the elite. No, it's you. You're so head down worried about the little tiny things in your life that I shouldn't say don't matter, but you're concerned, your energy is about the wrong thing. You need to shift and say, what do I want, right? What do I want and what do I get? So let's go to number 10, which is the most essential, is your team. There are very few people who live and breathe in the alternatives. It's been fun to have my son and I have gotten so close over the last, especially couple of years of him leaving Georgia Southern. He's still there. He's got his 5th year. He's in his MAC right now, which is a Master's of Accounting, playing his 5th year of football. Then we'll go on to, we'll see where he goes on to and become a CPA. And it's interesting because he had an accounting and finance degree and said, Mom, I'm still not taught like this practical application of being an entrepreneur, living corporate life. Like there's no such thing. I made those terms up because I didn't know how to have you get it, that if you don't have a company, you don't get all these legal deductions. You get a few if you have a little sole proprietorship, but you also have everything at risk at a sole proprietor level. So again, how did I think about the team and learn about the team? It was the Rich Dad Poor Dad team, all right? They were the first ones that I saw put a team of very diverse experts together to work together on, like, I shouldn't say on your behalf because that's not how that was structured. It was just showing people there's all these diverse experts. So when I left in 2000, 2001, I said, I'm going to be the glue of those experts. So I'm going to be the educator. I'm going to be the advocate. I'm going to teach. I'm going to educate. I'm not going to give you advice, but boy, am I surrounded by amazing third-party companies. They have phenomenal advice. And they're the best in class in taxes, in bookkeeping, in self-directed IRAs. What did I do in the marijuana space? I got to navigate to find the best in class. What do I do if I want to find a new asset? Cryptocurrency. I went back to Kelly, who owns iFlip, and actually put together some smart folios. So I've assembled an amazing team that you can just tap into by hanging out with us. And I would encourage you to hang out a lot with us. What's the social blueprint that you have to do along with it? So you might be working with an expert on how to write your book. I'm going to teach you how to monetize your book. What's different about us? We meet you where you are, and we take you where you want to go.